Now, let me welcome the next speaker and the last speaker for today's webinar. So, Sri Anil Khadka, to briefly introduce Anil ji, he is the coordinator, Youth Network, Gita4Life campaign. I would like to call him a young philosopher. Actually, we have introduced to each other for around maybe 2 months, but his thoughts and social media coverage and his inspiring personality all have made me too much familiar with him, as if we have been with each other for decades. So, very inspiring personality. He is also a teacher at secondary school and counselor. He has already published 2 books. So, firstly, Bhagavad Gita by a teenager for the teenagers, and the next is Mo Dekhi Moksha. So, now, furthermore, over to you. And you'll be presenting on the topic Arjuna as an ideal student in the Gita. So, over to you, Anil sir.
So am I audible, first of all?
Yeah, okay.
Okay, thank you. So, and I'm sharing the screen. Is it coming? Is it
Yeah,
visible?
we can see.
Okay, okay. So here it begins, because we had already discussed about the philosophical aspect of the Bhagavad Gita. So I'll make it more interesting and begin with the stories which we can found in the Adi Parva of the Mahabharata. When we speak about the Bhagavad Gita, we emphasize Lord Krishna is a Jagat Guru and a world teacher. But now, for now, I would like to invite all of you to reflect on the aspect of Arjuna is an ideal student. And this is the very significant, because without an ideal student, a teacher cannot impart the good wisdom that he had. So before coming to the Mahabharata part, or let's say Bhagavad Gita part, I would like to draw all of you back to the childhood of the Arjuna, how he was. So as you can see in the screen, is it just to verify that yes, I have read the book originally. This is for the verification. In one place, when Drodacharya was thinking in his mind that he have something great to accomplish, and he have been training his students for that particular cause. And he had described that if any one of you can do that work for me, will be dearest to me. Okay, this is the full context. And after hearing Guru Dronacharya, all of the Kauravas remained silent. And there was one man who stand up and spoke from his heart. And he said that I'm ready for the challenges and I'm ready for the responsibility you provide me. So these words, after hearing these words, literally it is written in the Mahabharata itself that Guru Drona cries and he goes near Arjuna, he holds him tight and he smells the hairs of the Arjuna. And it was written so poetically, so beautifully that I wish to be that student. Because a teacher is holding so close, that this feeling is missing in this today's world. And that was something which I admire and I would like to share. I already share that for that cause only. And from this incident, what we can learn is Arjuna was brave from childhood. He didn't hesitate to accept challenges. He had deep love and admiration for his guru. So, second story. One night, Arjuna was eating his meal with lamp lit beside him. Suddenly, a strong wind blew and lamp went out. Darkness filled the room. Instead of stopping, Arjuna continued eating calmly. At that moment, the profound insight arose in his mind. And that insight was And here is also one very significant detail, okay? Guru Dronacharya never wanted Arjuna to eat in darkness because he loved him so much that he always took care of that part. But one day this incident took place and Arjuna was just eating calmly, and then he thought that I have been eating since childhood. And because of that practice, even in the absence of the light, I can eat it. My hand knows the way to the mouth. So if practice can make that thing very easy, why not the same thing can be done with the archery? This was the simple insight that happened within Arjuna, and then he went outside with the bows and arrows, and then he started practicing in the very day. So this is his another quality that Arjuna had. So ideal student converts every situation into learning. So this is the second point. So now I go back and take you all back to the Battle of Kurukshetra. So Arjuna was a very courageous from his childhood, devoted to his guru, always supporting his brothers and those who are in need. But in chapter 1, as we all know, Arjuna is overwhelmed by soka or grief and moha, confusion or attachment. Here he argues emotionally, not philosophically. Again, to argue philosophically, one must stand firm in his logic. But at that moment of crisis, Arjuna was emotionally very weak. So he questions Krishna from weakness, not a general inquiry. So it shows the human crisis, not the discipleship. Now we are moving forward. In chapter 2, verse 7, this is the moment where Arjuna truly becomes an ideal student. And all the great teachers before me had already quoted the verse, Sishyam tem ham swadhimam tvam prapannam. I am a disciple. I surrender to you. Please instruct me. And why this verse is decisive? This is the very crucial verse. Here, Arjuna abandons the ego. And he said, I don't know. And at that moment, there is one more thing that I would like to point out, that his brother is a dharma, avatar of a dharma, as we can put, I can put that way. But he did not go to his brother. Neither he goes to Guru Dronacharya for the assistance. He asks with his charioteer Krishna for the guidance. So this means that he is aware that he is with he is with someone who have great intelligence. So he accepts Krishna as a guru, not just as a friend. He seeks the highest good, not comfort. He surrenders intellect plus will. Okay, so let me take this up. Okay. So this is the classical definition of a Vedantic student from 2.7 onward. Arjuna is an ideal adhikari. So this is a qualified seeker. So yesterday, as I was going to ask the similar question to our guest lecturer, that in one class, there are many students. And we don't know that all of them are adhikari for the wisdom or not. Here, in particular given context, Arjuna is just a single person who has shown the quality to attain that highest wisdom. But in one classroom, there are multiple students. It is very difficult for a teacher to actually impart the wisdom that he have, because not all of the students are not adhikari. So this is very classical difference in the Vedantic context. Okay. So Arjuna is an ideal student again. Chapter 2, Sthita Pragya section. You can notice here, Arjuna listens very carefully. When he asks question, Arjuna actually listens. And this is the another point. Generally, students ask question for like just diverting their mind, not listening to a teacher when he is replying. But here, Arjuna listens very carefully. He asks precise and relevant question. How does a man of steady wisdom speak, sit, and walk? He does not interrupt emotionally. He allows teachings to unfold fully. So this shows the Sravana, deep listening, which is again a qualification for a Vedantic student. In chapter 3, Karma Yoga, student with doubt. Okay. So here, Arjuna questions an apparent contradiction. If knowledge is superior, why action? This is the first verse you can find in the Bhagavad Gita chapter 3. And this again reflects the inner clarity, let's say, clarity about the question. Okay. Here, an ideal student asks doubt for clarity, not to defeat the teacher. So he's not arguing, neither is criticizing. He listened fully and then asks question about the context for his inner clarity about the answer. Further, in chapter 4, in Jnana and Guru tradition, Krishna introduces parampara, teacher-student lineage. Arjuna accepts Krishna's authority even when divine birth is explained. In the verse 8, he said that your birth is happening. No, no, sorry. I had imparted this knowledge since in the beginning of the creation, right? He are telling so many fanciful things to Arjuna, but Arjuna just listens quietly, not mocks the teacher, neither rationalize it away. Okay, so this shows Shraddha, which means trust to a teacher. Vinaya means a humility to accept, because you have already accepted Lord Krishna as a teacher and you have prayed him to instruct you. So this means there must be trust, humility, and jigyasa, longing to know truth. So this is the wonderfully reflection. This had wonderfully reflected by the Arjuna. So again, that's why I consider Arjuna as an ideal student. Furthermore, if we go to chapter 13 to 15, there is a sharp philosophical inquiry. For example, in chapter 13, there is field and the knower, Kshetra and Kshetragya Vivaga Yoga, which is practically one of the logical, I would say, chapter in the whole Bhagavad Gita, and about Prakriti and Purusha. Even Sri Krishna says, if somebody knows Prakriti and Purusha differently, one might kill everyone in this universe or say in planet. Although he kills, he's not a doer. The bondage of the action would not bind him. Those kind of things are said in that chapter. So listens to a pure Vedanta silently. Again, it's very difficult to listen Vedanta for a long period of time because it's confusing, challenging, it's demanded attention, right? But shows readiness for a Tattva Jnana. So after that, Tattva Jnana is imparted on Arjuna. So again, Arjuna is an ideal student, listens this with utmost curiosity and patience. And finally, I'll conclude this. In chapter 18.73, the fruit of idle studentship is sin. They are nasto moha smriti labdha. My delusion is destroyed and I have regained clarity. So here, the doubt is gone. No compulsion, no fear. Action arises from understanding, not pressure. This is Shishya Siddhi. It is the success of a student. So one more verse, I'll show it to you and I'll conclude, okay? So this is one of the most beautiful verse that I found in whole Mahabharata, okay? In Maushala Parva, this is said by Sri Krishna to his father before his death. It's a wonderful verse, if you can see. Know that I am Arjuna and Arjuna is indeed me. O Madhava, whatever Arjuna says or decides, you should understand it to be my own intention and act accordingly. So think about it. If a teacher have that love for a student, this kind of love, this kind of passion, then as a student, my whole life is flowered, this much I can say. But we rarely find those kind of inspiring words from a teacher to a student, right? So please think about these things. And first of all, let's try to be a good student. And let's try to make our teachers proud of us. The way Krishna is proud of Arjuna here before his death. And again, I'm pointing out it because it's very important. It is not a random statement said by Krishna to somebody. No, it is said by Krishna to his father, which means it is in real sense Krishna feels it in his blood. So all of us try to be a good student, good listener like Arjuna, and hence Arjuna is an ideal student. So this is the verification done by the Krishna himself. So nothing more to say, nothing more to be said from my side. Thank you. Hari Om Tat Sat.